Hello, welcome once again to another edition of the Coach's Corner program. I'm Jeff Ruth, and along with me today is assistant coach, one of the assistant coaches, Jonah Hensley. And Jonah, appreciate you being. You said it's hot up here. No, it's not.
It's a little warm up here under all the lights, but it's all right. It's all right.
A little background about yourself, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I played 4 years at River Valley, graduated in 2013. After that, I got my personal training and athletic training certification through Westside Barbell. And ever since then, I've just kind of been training athletes here and there. Helped out a little with River Valley in the past. And then last year, I got met up with Coach Ross, and he brought me on, and we've basically spent all of the off season together with the boys. So.
And I know you're one of the assistant coaches, one of many assistant coaches. Specifically, what do you handle?
Just specifically the strength and conditioning. So, like I said, the off season was my main season, and then we're starting to implement some in-season lifting for maintaining and also staying strong through just the end of the season. Yeah. So when we hit that post-season, that playoff season, we're still as strong as we were game one.
Okay. Should mention Coach Arndt wasn't available for today. Let's talk a little bit about the season. 0-3, but you're literally 2 plays away from being 2-1.
Yeah, absolutely. There was just a couple plays that we fell short on, and I honestly just contribute a lot of that to being just very young. You know, we only had a few returning starters that came back and saw some Friday Night Lights last year. So this year they're very young. You know, they're learning the ropes as we go, as they go. So, you know, there's just a couple of those plays that got away from us. But if not, you know, like you said, we'd be on a winning record right now. So I think that as we go on, the boys are learning. They're gaining confidence in themselves as they go and as they play. And, you know, it's only going to be up from here.
Yeah, and coaches don't like to use injuries as an excuse.
Right.
But in 3 weeks, you've had probably more injuries than a lot of teams have for the entire year.
Yeah, absolutely. We did have a lot of injuries off rip the beginning of the season, and that really hurt us. You know, a lot of our starters were out, and we had to play a lot of younger classmen, but they stepped up. But the inexperience definitely showed a little bit on some of the players and some of the team or some of the plays that we had. So, but nonetheless, learning moments for them as they come up through the program. So, you know, learning moments for them, learning moments for us. And, again, you know, there's only positives coming out of the program from here on out.
Good. We'll come back. We'll take a look at some of the highlights from a really tough loss last week against Newark. We also have a couple of the players we're going to talk to. And we'll also talk about the game coming up on Friday night against Gallion. We'll do that right after these words. Once again, back on the Coach's Corner program. Last week, your first road trip of the season down at Newark. Newark, I know, is a much improved ball club over what they've been the last several years.
Yes, sir, absolutely. I know that they've put some extra work into their field also, so it seems like a lot of things are coming up over there at Newark, and they're putting in some work. And yeah, you know, last week they were definitely a worthy opponent, but an opponent that we definitely should have had, you know, the upper hand on. And I feel like we did. Again, it just came down to a couple plays here and there. I definitely felt like we were the better ball club for sure, as with, you know, the other teams. But again, it's just, you know, a couple moments. Football's a game of inches, yep. And everyone counts. So,
well, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the highlights from the contest last Friday at Newark. This was right off the bat, and unfortunately, though, I think this one got called back for a penalty.
Yeah, it did, and this was a great run by Marquise Long, I believe that is, and he's actually had a couple great runs off the kickoffs this season already, and this is his, I believe, first year coming out, so that's great from him. Good pass by Alex Stokes there.
Good second effort.
Yeah, definitely Parker Davis pushed forward there, got that one in. Heck of a runner. I believe that is Marion Ross actually with the interception there. I remember this play. I was actually on the sidelines helping out with a student athlete, and I heard the crowd roar on that one.
You're down 10 here in the fourth quarter, but you made a nice comeback.
Yeah, absolutely. Right there, a run by Alex Stokes. He's big body for a quarterback, so he's able to get those extra yards and take that hit there. Nice precision pass right there.
Is that the final score?
Yeah, I believe that was the final score. And again, it just all came down to just a couple plays that we had lost and that they gained on us. I believe one of the last plays, or our very last play, was a pass down the field, and it just slipped through our receiver's hands, and that right there would have tied the game. So I believe, if I'm correcting myself, if I can remember, I believe we were only down by one touchdown. I think we only lost by one touchdown.
I think it was 28-21.
Yeah.
That score up there wasn't right. Yeah.
Now that I'm recollecting.
That's kind of why I asked you.
Yeah, so now that I'm recollecting, it came down to that one pass play right there. Alex Stokes had thrown a dime, and again, just inexperience, no fault of Marquise's. He's definitely getting more reps in and learning that position and learning his groove. And, I don't see that happening again the rest of the year because he's definitely going to, he felt that one. I could see it at the very end when I saw all his brothers run over there and pick him up. But, again, it just came down to a couple of plays, one or two plays that put them in front of us at the very end, so. Again, we held our own. Again, I felt like we were the better ball club for sure. Just taking learning moments as we go.
It's Wednesday afternoon. Has been a good week of practice so far?
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, with a personal injury that I haven't been able to make it to many of the practices this week, but I definitely keep up with the coaches and with the players as I see them throughout the halls. And I guess yesterday was one of our best practices that we've had. Had the music going, the boys said, and they were really, getting back into the groove of who they are. Into the personality of who they are. And I heard some good hits were going on yesterday, and the boys were just getting back to having fun. And at the end of the day, that's really what's going to make them, pursue forward and put their best effort in, is just having that fun with their brothers out there and getting that W for them.
We'll talk about the Galleon game coming up a little bit later on in the segment, but appreciate your insight on the plays so far.
Absolutely.
When we come back, we have a couple of the players we're going to talk to, and we'll do that right after these words. Once again, back on the Coach's Corner program. This is the segment where we talk to a couple of the players. Alex Stokes to my immediate left and Justin Long to my far left. And Alex, we'll kind of start with you. You're the quarterback on this year's ball club. Just kind of talk a little bit about what it means to be a quarterback, and obviously that's a leadership role for you.
Yeah. I first started playing quarterback 7th grade year, and then after that I just played it ever since. I just love it because it takes more leadership than any other position, and you gotta actually love football to play quarterback because you can't have a day off. You gotta have 100% every day.
Now, do you play any defense at all, or are you just strictly offense?
Strictly offense.
Talk a little bit about not only football, because I know you're an outstanding athlete in other sports as well. Mm-hmm. Is football kind of the go-to sport for you?
Yeah, football is the go-to sport for me.
Of course, your brother Wes graduated. I imagine it was probably some one-on-one competitions and some pretty good drills over the years with you and your brother.
Yeah, for sure. Most of the competition was usually in basketball with me and my brother, just playing one-on-one all the time.
So who won most of the time?
He always beat me, but
Oh, he did? Okay.
I always gave him the work too. So
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about this year's team. I know we've talked a little bit about injuries at the beginning of the season. Obviously, you lost, 22, 23 seniors from last year's ball club. So a very young ball club. Just kind of talk a little bit about what you've seen out of the team so far this year.
the team this year, we're just young, a lot of inexperienced athletes, but we just got to learn that when times get hard, we just got to keep fighting through it. They can't put our heads down because negative energy transfers a lot. So,
good point.
Yeah.
Talk a bit about running the football as opposed to passing the football. Are you comfortable running, or are you going to try and get rid of the football whenever you can to pass?
I'm always looking to pass, but if I see the A gap, B gap open up, I'm taking off, getting as much as I can, and then living to the next play.
Talk a little bit about your speed, because you have some speed for a quarterback, don't you?
I guess so. I've never heard that before, but
Okay.
yeah. I try to keep the defense on their toes a little bit, run it, and then hit them downfield with a long pass,
Coach talked yesterday about it being a good day of practice, and obviously you're not off to the start that you would like. Just kind of talk a little bit about the attitude that you've seen from the players so far.
A lot of short-term memory. Like the day we lose, we come back the next morning, get film in, work, just try to go 1-0 every week.
And of course, league play begins Friday over at Gallion. It's kind of almost the second season for you, and it's almost a time to kind of start new for you, isn't it?
Yeah. I think we can beat Gallion. We just got to focus, lock in, study them on film for sure.
All right, very good. Good luck on Friday night. Good luck the rest of the way. Justin, I know you're just a sophomore.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about the positions that you play.
So I play left guard on offense, and then on defense side of the ball, I play middle linebacker.
You prefer one over the other?
Oh, definitely linebacker. for sure.
Yeah. Everybody I've talked to over the years, it's offensive, it's always defense, especially middle linebacker. That's where you get to hit somebody.
Yep.
You're a sophomore. How long have you been playing football?
Since second grade.
Okay, so you've been in for a long time.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about the season this year. Again, Alex talked about the fact that it's not the start that you would like, but you've been very close in 2 of the 3 ball games. Just kind of talk a little bit about the mindset of where the players are right now.
It's definitely been rough since Coach Ross left. When he left, it was 9 days before the season started, so we were already downhill from there. But when you had that scrimmage Whitehall, we definitely came back strong. And then
Yeah, and I know that Mount Vernon game was a tough one because that was a game that up until the fourth quarter you'd pretty much dominated that game.
we were dominating, and they just had some few plays that knocked us off our feet.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about Gallion. What's kind of the scouting report that the coaches have talked to you about?
It's definitely on passes. It's zone 6, which is middle. Zone 8, zone 6 when they pass, and they got a lot of pulling guards, just trying to get 4 yards at a time.
Primarily running team or passing, or do they mix it up pretty well?
50-50.
Okay. All right. Well, Justin, good luck the rest of the season. Hopefully we can get this turned around.
Yep, let's hope.
Well, we'll be back. We'll talk a little bit about the Gallion game on Friday night. We'll do that right after these words.
The historic OK Cafe.
Pizza, calzones, subs, sandwiches, and more.
Our fresh dough is made daily, topped with your favorite ingredients and made to order.
Stop in for our lunch buffet or check out our many daily specials.
Looking for something to do? Come in and check out our giant projector screen on game days.
Sing with friends on karaoke nights and dance the night away with live entertainment from your favorite local bands.
So even though Rex might have a short reach, we'll never come up short on service.
So remember, when you're hungry, check out the OK Cafe, home of the giant 20-inch Pizzasaurus Rex made to order. Dine in, carry out, or delivery. Come to the historic OK Cafe, located at 734 East Center Street, Marion made for over 80 years.
Back to wrap up this edition of the Coach's Corner program, and Jordan mentioned the MOAC, almost a second season now. Talk a little bit about Gallion and just, I know it's one game at a time, but I know Shelby, of course, the defending champions. They got beat by a really good Bellevue ball club. I know Pleasant's 1-2, but they played really well last week against Whitehall. River Valley is 2-1. It's really kind of a wide open league, I think, this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, I might have a little bit of bias, but I know, I have a feeling that our boys will end up coming out on top. There are a lot of good ball clubs in this league. But I see our boys having the most talent that I've seen in a football team in a very, very, very long time. Gallion coming up. I know tragedy had struck the city and the team over there. So they're going to be playing for something bigger. But I know that our boys are playing for the sense of pride that they're trying to still bring back and still keep running here at Marion Harding. So, every week we try and go 1-0. And that's exactly what we're going to be going for this week, is going 1-0. And we will attack Gallion just as we will attack everybody else the rest of the season. Again, now that our boys are getting their footing, they're getting a grip, I see us taking off at a fairly good pace for the rest of the season.
And of course, Friday night Friday popcorn festival day, so you don't have school. That creates a little kind of a issue, I guess, as far as keeping everybody focused, right?
Yeah. There's definitely a potential of a distraction during this time, popcorn festival time. But again, I know that we're bringing our boys in Friday morning, and we're going to do breakfast for them, so that they at least start out their day with something good in their stomach, and then we'll probably do something after that to kind of keep them all together, keep them focused in, and then we'll release them, because at the end of the day, we know that our boys are just as focused as we are on this win, on this 1-0 this week. So a little bit of distraction, I'm sure, but I know that when it's game time that our boys lock in, and the Popcorn Festival will be something that they'll be able to go celebrate at.
Okay. Yeah, hopefully so. And again, so much of it is not about what the other team does. It's just what
we
you
can control. Absolutely.
And that's so much of what any sport is.
Yes, sir.
All right. Nice job. Appreciate you being on.
I appreciate you.
All right. Thank you. That wasn't so bad. Is it still as hot up here?
It's not as hot. Once I got,
Okay.
I don't know, y'all turned on the AC or something, must have been.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's going to wrap it up for this edition of the Coach's Corner program. My thanks to the players and to Jonah. Hope you can tune in as well as we continue our Coach's Corner program every week throughout the course of the high school football season. It's going to wrap it up for this edition. I'm Jeff Ruth.